Pressing two.
Pressing two.
Hello. Oh, talk about chaos today. It's been a little chaotic. And then I forgot fabric, so Sarah had to come over and bring me fabric. So.
And it wasn't the right fabric, apparently.
It's perfect fabric. Going the wrong way. It's directional. So there's the first learning curve today. Is maybe think about the direction of your fabric before you make this project.
Are you going to have upside down butterflies?
They're going to go side to side, I think, because it ends up like that. So they're all right.
It'll be all right.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Right, we'll come back. Right. Hi. Welcome to Thursday. We are rattling through this week, and it's been chaos in the White Gecko today. Apparently, I had to go to the bank. I'm having awful trouble with the bank. It's my money. I should be able to put it where I want it. Just don't get me started. All right. Right. What are we going to do? We're doing it's called a dignity scarf, right? It's for people like me who cannot eat anything without dropping it all down them. Okay. Yeah. All my friends are the same. So it's this. This is all it is. It's really easy, and you put it over your shoulders like that, and then you can put in a fastener or whatever there. Now, that's what's going to happen. Okay, it goes on there, and it means that my boobs will stay clean, and that's the idea. Now, there's plenty all over the internet, only as per usual, I didn't really like those. I thought there was too much here, so I needed to cut it down a bit. So you can either put it so that the I've got a shallow end and a deep end. If you put the shallow end, yeah, it does fit better, I think. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So you make it to fit yourself, really. Before we go on, I finished the project wallet. See? Look at that. Finished the project wallet. Yeah, Jean, we'll all have them when we go to on retreat. We'll all be sat there with our dignity scarves on. And also, we wanted to show you this, right? Which number am I? 3. We've got 3 of these, and I think it's 4 jelly rolls. Okay, they're Free Spirit. They're Tula Pink, but they're all black. Look at that. They're all black. So it's got, remember we showed you the fairy dust, which had tiny little birds and stars and things on. I think it's all her designs. I don't know. But they're all in black. They're a black on black. So they've got designs in a, can you see? They're in a slightly greyish. If I press that one, does that go closer? They're in a greyish black. The designs, there's a bird here, and there's a big star, there's a love heart and another bird. So yeah, so they're $45.95, and we've only got 3 of those, and then we've got them in a jelly roll. So I think they're beautiful. I think they're lovely, and it's a shame that we didn't have more. So how are we going to do this thing today? We are going to, I'm running late because there was a friend in the shop, and we were having a natter about old times. So this is my dignity scarf. Okay, I've made this one in batiks, right, like that, and Sarah's brought me over this. I rang and said, can you get me a long quarter? So a long quarter is about the right length. She's given me wider. I think she's given me a bit wider. We're going to cut that down. So I have 2 long quarters, and you're going to put them, are we going to put them right side? Yeah, put them right sides together. Okay. So, hiya Sonia, how are you? Yeah, I thought about a bib. I mean, I'm using a tea towel at home, and it's not, you know, there's me thinking my husband doesn't find me sexy anymore, and I'm sat there with a tea towel round my neck to stop pasta dripping down my top. So really, I'm hoping it's going to make me look a little bit more sexy than it has done. So we've got 2 pieces of fabric, which I am trying to put right sides together like that, and then you're going to fold it in half. Now we're going to iron that crease out in the middle there and there. And how dare you book in the middle of my 1 o'clock to have your nails done? Wow, we'll be having words next week. Right, enjoy yourself. And send me pictures. Hiya Jen, how are you? Haven't seen your name come up on my 1 o'clocks for a while. So I'm just ironing out this crease here. I mean, it doesn't take long. Oh, it's just started raining as well. I'm glad that it didn't rain while Sarah was walking across the road. I'd have been in so much trouble. Right, so we're now going to fold this in half, right? We're going to trim it all down so that it's all the same size because we want to sew it together. So, there we go. So we're going to make sure that it's lying flat, like that, there. And then we're going to use the long ruler. Right, I'm going to fold it again. Yeah, I'm going to fold it again for this bit. So let's make sure that we've got enough that it's all like that. And I want 10 inches. All right. I have to remember where I am for appropriate speaking and that. Hi Grace, how are you? Who's using a tea towel? Jen? Is that you? Yeah, you're using a tea towel. Yeah, I mean, these muslins that you use for the baby are a good idea. But if it's, I've not padded this, but if you're a soup eater, you might want to think about some padding in it to help with sopping up the fabric. Right, so that's 12, so I need to cut it up the 22 line. Okay, so I've got 10 inches across. Okay, 10 inches across like that. And so you folded in at half, short end to short end. We're now going to trim off on the short end. Now, if you want it longer than this, you need to, if you need it longer, you'll need to either sew 2 pieces together, or you use 60, or the 10% on the 108s is still on if you wanted to do it. Grace is watching us on the coach. Make sure everybody else knows about White Gecko. Give us a shout out. Right, I'm going to fold it again. So I've folded it in half horizontally, short end to short end. Then I'm going to fold it in half down the long sides. Okay. And from there, I'm going to measure. I'm going to measure 1.5 inches this side. That's what I decided I needed to go around the back of my neck. I did measure, like the dip in my neck. I measured that, and I think it was about 3 or 4 inches. Right, I haven't got a tape measure to do it again. And then I measured where I needed to come here, and measured all the way down here. I mean, when I sit down, that is just going to go slightly, go over my boobs and over my tummy. If I drop it in my lap, I'm stuffed. If you're a lap dropper, because you've got no boobs, well, it rarely gets to my lap because it's got to go past my boobs, and it used to have to go past my stomach as well, but that's gone down a little bit. Then you'll want it longer. And I tried to do it so that it was longer, but the maths hurt my head, so we're doing it just on the width of fabric. But we've got lots of 60s in the shop, and 108s is still 10% off. You could buy half a metre and you could make a couple of these. So we folded it in half. Now I'm going to measure 1.5 from here, and I need to put in a mark. This doesn't really matter, does it? Will that show? Not really. Let's put a pin in there, shall we? Put a pin in it. So I ended up cutting it down. I started with 2 inches and I cut it down to 1.5 inches. And then you want to measure 15 inches down. Now if you look at my scarf, you can see I've measured 10 inches on one side and 15 inches on the other. Now you could do that, okay, that is something that you could do, but for ease I think just go down to the 15. You sort of need the 15 to give you that enough to come around your neck. Now the ones I was seeing on the internet, they were just doing it from this, not cutting it or anything. They just did this, and then if they wanted it small around the neck, they were then pleating it and folding it. Well, I didn't want to do that, and if Sarah Jane doesn't want to do something, she don't do it. Well, that's a lie. I do it. I do it. Right, this is a bit shorter, so I'm going to come up 14. I think I've cut off more on the end. So I'm going to come up 14 like that, and I'm going to put a pin in there, right, like just like that, just like that. You see what I'm doing? So I've got a pin here at my 1.5, and I've got a pin here at 14 from this corner down. Then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up with that point and that point. And then I'm going to take the pins out so that I don't ruin the rotary, and I'm going to cut that corner off. Like that, just like that. Okay, so we now have stuff to go in the scrap bin. Okay, there's quite a decent amount of scrap there if you're a person who likes their scrap. So I'll put that in the scrap bin now. So we've done that. We're now going to open it out, just like that, carefully. I have got it round the right way now, haven't I? Because it would be terrible if I haven't. And we're going to pin it. Just going to pin it together so that it holds. Like I say, simple little quick make. But you want to hold it together like that. I'm just going to put a pin in there, just to make sure that it's not walking. That's what you want. You don't want it to walk like it is. There we go. Random pinning. That's what it is. Random pinning. So I'm going to sew it together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance and go all the way around, leaving a turning gap. And we're going to put our turning gap here. That's not going to show up because you've got lime green there. See, last week I packed myself a pen. So I'm going to leave a turning gap there, like that. There we go. Right, you still with me? You usually tell what I've had for my tea as I'm wearing it. Yes, I'm pretty good with with my lunch, but it's the other bits. You embarrass everybody out with your napkin bibs. I use a napkin bib. I'm with you, Sonia. I would use a napkin, you know, if depending on what I'm eating. Right, so we're going to use 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's caught up with me. I'm just using this. I must get some of this seam tape because it makes half square triangles easier as well. So I'm just coming to the edge, and I've got to hope that all my cutting is sitting lovely, otherwise it won't work. Let's have another stitch or two. There we go, that's perfect. I'm always a stitch, not enough. So hang on, I got caught up. Hang on, there you go. So yeah, it's been a busy old time. I went into Cardiff this morning to go to the bank. And by the time I got back, Sarah said that the shop had been full and I missed them all. So anybody that came this morning, I'm sorry I didn't see you. And then we've had a multitude of people in today since I've been back. Oh, that's a bit short. I think I'm in. I think it's there. I'm going to top stitch it afterwards as well. It's nice, easy sewing. I mean, by the time you cut a load out, you could be chain piecing these, sewing through these, and get them on your stall. Everybody will go, oh, that's such a good idea. I can see you all making them for your friends for Christmas. But I'm looking forward to retiring the tea towel myself. Oh, it is a bit close around there. I'm using more edge of foot on this side. It's a bit close on that side in places where the fabric's shifted. The trouble is, if you don't cut them together, you might not get the same cutting lines, which is why I like to do it all together. Okay, and then we're up this side. We're nearly there. So what's the weather like with you lot? It's precipitating it down here at the moment. I might sit in Sarah's house until the rain stops. Ooh. Okay, down here and round the corner to our there we go, all done. Might need one for every day of the week and a special one for Christmas. I know, I thought I'll use Christmas fabric, not that one, Christmas fabric to do one, because I could have one then for Christmas Day. You'll see pictures of me with my dignity scarf on. But it looks a lot better than, I mean, if you're going out and you're going for like a wedding meal or something, you could make one to match your outfit. So, we got corners. We're just going to trim the corners. See how close that is? Never mind. trim the corners like this. Don't poke the corners out if you're not sure. Right, where it's come in here, I'm going to put a clip in there and then either side of it like that. So I'm clipping into my indentation and then like that. Ooh. If in doubt and you're not sure, maybe do a bigger seam allowance. And on the outy bit there, I'm just going to put in a clip as well, just so that when I push it out, it's got room for any extra fabric if it needs it to go. So there's my thingy there. Don't cut your stitches there, like that, and then there, and cut off my corners like that. Yes, very close in places, but there you go. I'm going to top stitch it, so that might help. So we go down here, find your furthest corner. I always find is the easiest. Find your furthest corner and pull it through like that, and then hopefully everything else will follow. Showery day. Yeah, it's oh, sunny in Guernsey. Oh, rain predicted for later. Yeah, it's not a good week. It's been picky. You'd think that Mother Nature would decide to give them a sunny day for their last a sunny week for their last week off school. You wait, it'll be beautiful next week when they're all in school and they'll all be in their winter uniform. I mean, when I was in boarding school, we'd go back in our winter uniform and then the sun would come out and you'd be boiling. Okay, so trying to find the corner there. I think the thing that takes the longest time is this next bit where you're going to roll it. You want to roll your seams. Okay, you want to roll your seams and try and get it so that it's sharp. Okay, you want a sharp edge. If you made one an inch bigger than the other, you'd get like a faux edge, wouldn't you? I don't know how that would work. It doesn't make it I mean, this makes it reversible, so you can wear it for 2 meals running. As long as the food has dried on the first one. You could make it from laminate, you know, laminated fabric. Have you seen the reels that are going around? And you're just talking rubbish now while I'm doing this, because otherwise it would be boring. Have you seen the reels where they're using crisp packets and Chupa Chup wrappings and Quality Street wrappings, and you put cling film, I think it's cling film, and then you iron it with a cloth over it, of course, to sort of fuse it all together? I'm thinking about having a go at that. So there's a 1 o'clock, but I've got to give it a go first to see what it's all about. So yeah, we could make a project bag or a pencil case or something with it. I mean, they make, you know, designer handbags and stuff like that out of it, you know, with a nice metal chain. You could make the metal chain out of your coat pulls, I'm sure. So, oh, that'd be quite cool actually. You you get yourself some jump rings and jump ring in between the cam pulls, take the sharp bit off. That'd be quite cool. So we're just going along here. I don't know whether I could iron it at the same time. It would take down a step, wouldn't it? Like this. Oh, and the other thing I saw on Reels, I sent it to Anne and Sarah, is have you seen the motorized, I think it's USB rechargeable type binding machine? So you put your fabric in one end, your strip of fabric in one end, and it comes out the other end made into binding, you know, all folded nice. I thought, oh, I could do with one of those, and it irons itself. So where are we? Yeah, use an old iron. My iron is I'll be with you now, Claire, honestly. My iron, the temperature filament must have gone, because I'm ironing stuff on silk and burning my fingers. It's not working. Hi Claire, how are you? We are making a dignity scarf. Okay, now I am one of these people that drops my food down my front, and I wear, usually change into a t-shirt that doesn't matter. Why haven't I got that one? Why didn't I pull that one out? A t-shirt that doesn't matter so much to eat my tea, because I always end up with it on my boobs. We've tried sitting at the table instead of slumped in front of the TV, and it makes no difference. I can eat lunch without dropping it on, but tea, I seem to have a unfailing ability to drop my tea down my front. So these are dignity scarves. I will model this when it's done. But I mean, what is it? It's past. I mean, we could just show you the other one and say, and then we top stitch it. We're nearly there. So do you all get stuck on these reels? I mean, we watch a lot of reels to try and pick up some ideas for this, you know, for the 1 o'clock. Sarah seems to have a lot more quilting, sewing related reels than I do. Mine is mostly saving dogs and goats, generally. Dogs and goats. But yeah, you can lose an hour on them. It's just, I can't get this one to go. Oh, there we are. So, do you know, I couldn't do this on many of them. It makes my fingers cramp. So we're just trying to get a bit of a sharp edge before I stick an iron on this, because I want to top stitch it. So this fabric is the new Ruby Star in, and it's beautiful. It's glow in the dark. So now I will be able to eat in the dark and know where my chest is. I think it's beautiful. This is part of the, remember I used the mushrooms and the foxes last week? This is part of that. And we're in the middle of putting all the stuff that we showed you yesterday. I've got 2 collections to do, which is going to be my afternoon project, is get those back on the web so that you can buy them. Otherwise you can't buy them. Okay, we're nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. I do love watching. It's worse sitting at the table. At least just sitting on the sofa you can hold your plate close to your mouth. This is true, you can't really pick up your plate, can you? So I love the reels. I just yeah, tension of a gnat people have got these days. I mean, I've followed some wonderful people that have come up on a reel, so I've just carried on watching them. And you find some amazing stuff. I found a reel. Did I tell you I was going to go and we're going to Amsterdam a week Sunday, and there's a couple of things on my 60 at 60 list that I want to do. One of them is go visit the Bodyworks in Amsterdam, so I'm definitely going to do that. And the other one that we've found is this swing, and I found a reel of people on the swing. I think I can do it. I don't know whether any of the others are going to do it with me. Dave is not keen, and when I think about it, I get tingles. You know those tingles, those scaredy cat tingles that you get? I get those when I think about it. And I do believe that you should do things that make you scared. You should try doing that. Something that makes you nervous every week. Personally, I think. So that is going to be... Oh, look at this. This is so vibrant. It's so beautiful. Is it coming across really well on the telly? Because you can't really see it on our screen. It doesn't show you how vibrant it is. So we're just ironing in my crease that I've just spent 10 minutes going around the outside of this scarf. So you could wear it as a scarf and then, you know, you just change it. I mean, you can use a normal scarf for this. You don't have to make one. So there we go. So it's like a big bow at the moment. So where's my open end? We're going to put in a we're going to put in a top stitch. So I need to go to there. You just discovered you can watch YouTube on your telly, so White Gecko demos are your go-to. Oh, you spend all that time with us. That's beautiful. Right, we're going to put this up to a 3.5. Ooh, it really... Ha! Look at that. No. What do I do? Press that one? No, I don't want that one. No, go away. There you go. Right. Let's give this a go. So I'm going to hold on to my thread, and I want to put the needle down and needle up, and I'm going to pull my thread through because I don't want... Whoop, I take my foot off the pedal. So I want this up here. It gives me a lock stitch, but I don't want a nest at the end, on the other side. Right. Okay. There we go. So I've upped my stitch to a 3.5. And I'm doing it fairly close to the edge. And just going round. It was fairly close to the edge in places. And we're going around the edge now. I'm not being overly careful. You're supposed to be a lot more careful than this at your top stitching. I'm not being slow because of time restraints. At home I would have slowed this down a little bit so that I could get it more even and always stick to one width from the edge. Okay. having trouble thinking about something to... I've lost a corner there. I didn't push that corner out. There we go. These butterflies are really glowing in this light. It's beautiful. Up the other side. There we go. So I bought a book. We're doing quilted jackets, and I bought a book on quilted jackets just for an idea of how they were made and everything. I can't find that book anywhere. I've pulled my craft room out apart. I actually lost it after Sarah was in there, so she'll have tidied it away somewhere and I can't find it, so I bought a new one this morning. So you can bet when I get home tonight it'll be there sitting in the middle of my craft room going, well, I've been here all along, where have you been? Okay, right, let's reverse one. No, reverse. There we go. There we go. It's all gone through. It's all gone according to plan. So we are now I'm just going to trim these edges, these little bits of thread off here like that, because I did lock stitches at the end. And there we have our dignity scarf. So what number I want? 2. So here you have your scarf and it'll fit on your chest like that. Now you can put a bit of Velcro there to hold it, or a what they call cam snap. So yeah, so that covers my boobs. I think it needs to be a bit longer. So you could do it so that your join is at the back of the neck. I think the other one that I made is longer. So remember I did 2 different sizes on this one to try it out. So this one, no, it's not any longer. It covers my boobs. Okay, so that would be, I mean, I'll have a tray on my lap anyway if I'm eating in front of the telly. So yeah, so you need, so I'm covered. So I'm all right, Jack. I shall be maybe making one of these in Christmas fabric. I might make it a bit longer because we'll be sat at the table for Christmas. If I do wear one, I will let you know. See, it's pretty, isn't it? Beautiful. So yeah, I think yes, you could sew with half a metre of fabric, cut it into the 2 long quarters, sew them at the end, and then you could work out where you wanted it to come. If you want it to sit into your lap, then you have to sit down and work out how long you want it there. So yeah, it's a work in progress. I look forward to seeing the ones that you make and the food that you make to go with them. That would be thingy. That would be lovely. So I'm going back. The swing is at the Nemo Museum. It's not as scary as it looks. You don't get the obsession with Amsterdam. We're going to Zandvoort, where Sarah and Phil have been a couple of times. And that's by the beach. I could be anywhere. Put me by a beach with my feet up, looking at the sunset, and I'm quite happy. There's bits of Amsterdam. I've only been there. Have I been there twice or once? Once, I think. Only been there once. No, I think I've been twice. Can't remember. Maybe that's what happens when you go to Amsterdam. You can't remember whether you've been or not. And there are still places that I want to go and see. I don't need to do like the middle. I want to go further. So yeah, it always looks beautiful. No, the Full Splendor Charm Pack. I'm going to go and put it on now, Suzanne. Okay. You're flying to Amsterdam. Yes, we were going to go by train. But when we looked at it, because it was cheaper than flying, and then when we looked at it next time, the price had gone up. So I wanted to go by Eurostar, really, but we're going by plane from Bristol. Book a slot for free to go through security rather than joining a big queue. Yes, we have done that in the past. I don't think we've done it this time. So, bodyboarding the other day. Bodyboarding. Where were you? You missed the wave. It's you actually went. Did you have a board, or because my dad taught me to body surf in Porthcawl, and we used to just jump into the wave and just surf it down without a surfboard. But surfing is something I'd like to try. I'd also like to try you know the stand-up paddleboarding. I've got no coordination or balance or anything like that, so that would be quite hilarious. I'm going to the 10th birthday party. I will see you there, Jean. I made me very happy to see your name come up. You might add a popper. Yeah, a popper or a cam snap would keep it closed, and I think I probably will do that. I'll just sit and do them. So there we go. Oh yeah, you could all bring your dignity scarves to the buffet. So there we go. You know where Zanfort is. I'll wave to you on the way to my friend's house just north of Alkmaar. Alkmaar? I will have a look. So those of you who've joined late, it's lovely to see you, but I'm off. Okay, I'm going to go and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go put the Full Splendor on the thingy for Suzanne to make sure it's on. He's just started paddleboarding. I think it's something I'd like to try, but I can't even get onto a lilo in a pool. I can't. I had a unicorn lilo, and it took me a week before I could get on it. A week of every day trying. A week. Right, I'm going. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.